Hi, this is Pamela Landers. Today we're going to be talking about life purpose and where that shows up. I'm a hand analyst. I've been reading hands for 28 years and have read over 50,000 hands, and I can tell you that knowing your life purpose changes your life. Your life purpose is actually identified in your fingerprints. Your fingerprints are formed by 16 weeks after conception, and they never change. This comes from medical research, so we know that it's an accurate assessment about what happens. Your fingerprints are a soul agreement. You have chosen your body because of the fingerprint patterns that are formed. A lot of research shows that the soul enters the body at the same time the fingerprints are completely formed. So you know your fingerprint patterns as a soul and your reason for being here before you're born and the body that you choose. You choose it for many reasons, not just your fingerprints, but that all of that is an agreement that's been made before you actually choose a body as a soul. I'm going to show you a chart of what fingerprint patterns actually look like. This may be very helpful for you to understand what it is that we're talking about. Fingerprint patterns are whorls, loops, tented arches, and arches. These four, as you can see, they look different, don't they? You can see that the whorl has many, many more lines than the loop does. And it has circles in it. The loop doesn't have the circles. The loop is like a paisley pattern in a way. It goes off to the side and it's open on the side. The tented arch has this tent pole looking thing in the middle of the fingerprint, in the middle of the finger. And as you can see, there are no circles here either. The arch is flat. It's like an anthill, little flat plane that you might, if you live in some place that just has plains and you see a little bump in a hill, it looks like that. Each of these fingerprint patterns gets less complex as we go from left to right, as you can see. Many lines, very few lines. This is important information in order to determine what your fingerprint patterns are and what your life purpose is. The life purpose fingers are going to be the fingers that have the highest ranked fingerprints, which means the most number of lines in the pattern. Everybody's hands are different. There's no average way that fingerprints look for people. People ask me that question. And there's nothing that's right or wrong. The value of life purpose is that it tells you what's easy. Wherever your fingerprint patterns are in your highest ranked, and they can also be highest ranked on your palms as well. They can show up over here, they can show up here or here. Sometimes underneath the fingers, the highest ranked fingerprints will be there. They tell you what's easy, what is effortless, what skills you already have, what you come into this life skilled and talented to express. The value of having this decoded and interpreted for you is to have permission, which is what I discover my clients tell me all the time and have been for 28 years. The permission that I give to them to do what is easy, because I'm decoding what's in their hands. I'm not telling them something they don't already know. I have never read for somebody who was completely surprised by what I said. But what they have said is, thank you for the permission. I feel so relieved. I'm so happy to know that I don't have to do XXX, but I get to do this because this is what makes me really happy and this is what is easy and effortless for me. You could have one finger, one digit that has your life purpose. You could have all 10 and anything in between. There are many, many different combinations, which is why it takes a hand analyst to decode this, because each finger has a fingerprint on it, and you have to look at each fingerprint and see what it does in comparison to the other fingerprints, and including what's in your palm. So it can get complex for some people. Some people have 10 of the same fingerprints on their fingers and no fingerprints in the palm. None of it is right or wrong. None of it is better than anything else. It's just all what is being designed for your soul's agreement in this lifetime. So let me give you an example. I very commonly see people having a life purpose on their right index finger, which is called Jupiter in the hands world. Jupiter in mythology is the god of the gods. I do a lot of work with mythology and applying that to the hands. It just makes it so much fun and so real for people. As a Jupiter person, if you're in charge of the realm, you're going to be a leader. You're going to be influential. You're going to be in a position of authority. You're going to be in a position of power. And that's what having a Jupiter on your right hand life purpose indicates. That you are designed to be a leader. You're designed to be influential. You're designed to be in positions of authority and power. You're designed to be a visionary. Jupiter's symbol is the eagle. Eagles have amazing vision, very detailed vision as well as very expansive vision. So if that's your life purpose, then learning what it is to be a leader and how to own your own relationship with power, very important. People have all kinds of different ways that they relate to what power is. Some people resist this. I can't tell you how many times I've talked with people who said, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with power. No, even though their life purpose is to be in a position of leadership and power. So we have to redefine what power is. We have to talk about what it means to be in a relationship to power in your way, your definition of power, how you want to have a relationship with power that is aligned for you, not necessarily how you see other people doing it. You can learn from their mistakes and you can learn from their experiences and what has value for you. Of course, we all do that, but to get really clear about what matters to you with power is very important. Not everybody has that as their life purpose. It's not mine. My life purpose actually resides in my hand, and it's actually down here in my what's called the moon zone, and it has to do with being highly intuitive and helping people through crises of meaning. Very different. I have a lot of markings related to Jupiter, but not in the fingerprint. So every finger has the potential of being a life purpose or not. And sometimes there are combinations. Sometimes you'll have 2 fingers or 3 or 4 or 5 fingers. They each have, for instance, a whorl, which is the highest ranked fingerprint. So it is needing to be decoded by somebody who knows what they're doing and how to interpret that so that they can give you language and permission to live what you are designed to live and have it be easy. A lot of people have resisted over years. It's been so funny when I've been at networking meetings, I'll tell people I'm a hand analyst, I read hands, and they'll put their hands behind their back. They don't want to know because they think it's like palmistry, like I'm going to tell them their future. I don't do that. I don't do anything predictive. It's not what I'm doing. I'm doing a science-based system of hand analysis based on medical research about how the fingerprints show up and what their purpose is for being here. I didn't design this system. Richard Unger designed it, but I have interpreted it and used it for 28 years, and it's been super helpful for people. And there are people who don't want to know their life purpose because they're afraid of change. I'm going to say in response to that, if you think you're not doing your life purpose, you're fooling yourself. I have seen this so many times. I mean, thousands and thousands of people. Everybody is doing their life purpose at some level. You can't not do your life purpose. It's a soul agreement. Your soul is here to be in alignment with your life purpose. You may not be doing it full out. You may be confused about the expression of it. You may go in and out of it from moment to moment. You may deny parts of it. You may end up being on what I call the student path of it. Of course, everybody's going to be on the master and student path of every marking in your hand. And you may spend more time on the student path than you want to be. Wouldn't it be helpful to be getting language that can help you identify what your master path is that makes you feel comfortable and easy? I encourage you to take the risk. It may take courage to ask to have your hands decoded, have your fingerprints decoded, to get language for your life purpose. And truthfully, it's going to just make your life a lot easier. I'm really big on ease. I like things to be easy and effortless. And I find that the more that I'm in alignment with my design, the easier my life is. I know this is true for other people whose hands I've read, students I've had, colleagues, and people that I know. They just have an easier time because they have a really clear sense of direction, and they know what to leave out and what not to focus on and where to focus. What to delegate if that's required, which is one of Jupiter's requirements, is to delegate. If you're going to be a leader, you're going to have followers, and you're going to need to delegate to the followers. Not all of them, but the qualified ones. There's a lot of conversation about Jupiter life purpose. I would encourage you to be curious. Want to know, how is this going to help me? And how it's going to help you is just to have easier choices, clearer choices, moving in a direction that's aligned with what your design is. Making decisions that actually feel like, oh, what a relief. I don't have to do that. I get to do this. If you had Jupiter life purpose, one of the choices you might be making on a regular basis is, what is it that I really feel good about being influential with? Where do I feel powerful internally, inside of me, regardless of what's going on outside of me? Where internally do I feel powerful? Is it when I'm in front of groups? Is it when I'm writing a blog? Is it when I am working one-on-one with somebody? Is it when I'm working on a corporation and part of the visionary team that's designing a new product? Where is it that you feel really powerful? And then follow that, as opposed to trying to resist your power. That's hard. That is not easy. And as I said, not everybody has Jupiter life purpose. I will say that everybody does have fingerprints on every finger, so it's not out of alignment to understand what the fingers mean. If you want to delve into all of this more deeply, because you do have 10 fingers and whatever fingerprints are in your palm. It's complex. Yes, it's a complex system. There's a lot to learn. And I would be just super happy to help you and support you to have the language and the permission to do your life purpose the way that is easy for you. It also will be dependent on what else you have in your hands. As a result, of course, because you can't ignore the lines in your hands or your hand shape. The fingerprints will give you profound first level information about what your soul agreement is and what your design is. And your life purpose is significantly